Full day of eating and training today. Weather's looking a little bit grim outside, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do, but we're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna get the day started with some hydration. So for this, Celtic sea salt, take a nice pinch, drop that in, and then the way I make this, I get some nice hot water to help it dissolve in the bottom. Give that a little stir. Then we just put a splash of orange in, because salt water's not that nice. Fill that up, and that is a great way to start your day to get your hydration up. So we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna be moving on to the coffee machine, which is one of my favorite bits of the day. Right, that's coffee made. Little splash of oat milk, and that should get us started nicely. I do love a morning coffee. And I know I mentioned it was looking pretty grim, but I just want to show you it actually is brightening up. So I reckon we'll get a decent workout in later outside. So hopefully we'll get a decent workout done in a bit outside, probably utilise garden pull-up bar, and I might even have a blast on the spin bike today as well, get them legs moving, but we'll see how the day goes. So it's nearly 11 o'clock. First meal of the day is very simple. It's beans on sourdough toast. Simple, but it works. 40 to 50 minutes, we'll get outside, get a good workout in, and I've found that this fuels me nicely for that workout. It's about as windy as it gets in UK right now. I'm gonna have a monster for this one. I'm gonna do legs. Not gonna put shorts on because it's actually quite cold. Let's get into it. Okay, that's a quick and effective leg workout in there. I've not shown every exercise and every rep because people just get bored of watching the same thing over and over again. The main takeaway point is you have to do high reps when you're doing bodyweight training. I am fortunate that I've got the weight vest outside, and it is, I think it's 22 kilos. So that does help a lot, and it will be a lot more difficult without that. But if I didn't have that, I'd just pick objects up like I've got in my shed where I just chuck all my crap. Anything with a bit of weight to it, and I'd grab it and do the same exercises and just try and make it more difficult. It doesn't have to be glamorous. I'm going to finish the workout on the spin bike. I'll probably get 10 minutes in. Things like this, I think it was £11.50 off eBay. It's in the edge of my shed. Like I said before, it's not glamorous, but it certainly does the job. And if you're into bodyweight training and your house is just there, you want to be able to nip out, get it done. This has probably took me 25 to 30 minutes in total with this 10-minute bike ride at the end, and then I'm back on with my day. Right, post-workout shake. Starting it with oat milk. You can use whatever milk you want. I just think this tastes better in this particular thing. I don't actually weigh anything out anymore because I've made this that many times and I'm not too restrictive with myself. I just like to get good nutrition. So these are quite small bananas, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 1.5 bananas, and there is a reason for that, which I'll explain in a minute. So 1.5, we're going to keep that one to the side for in a little while. We are going to hit it with a little sprinkling of oats. Sometimes this works out, from memory, about 40 grams of oats. Then we've got frozen blueberries, because if I get fresh ones, they just go mouldy too quick. And it also adds a different kind of texture to the smoothie when you've used frozen blueberries. So put a chunk of them in. This bag normally lasts about a week. Now, I forgot the other things, bear with me. Some flaxseed, because this is really good for fibre. So we just put a little sprinkling in there. Doesn't really add anything to the flavour or texture as such, but it's nice to get a bit more fibre in. And then we're going to finish off with some whey protein. I use Applied Nutrition. I find the texture's almost like sand and it mixes really well. So 1 scoop of this isn't actually a full serving, but that's all I use. Because we're going to get this Greek yogurt and we're going to put half the banana with it, and then we're going to add a bit more protein, and then that'll make 1 serving. Because I only have 1 serving of this per day, because it is a supplement and you shouldn't just rely on all your protein coming from whey protein powder. So we'll blend that up, I'll show you what it's like, and it's a winner every time for me. And after blending for about 30 to 40 seconds, this is what you end up with. And I'll try and show you the colour. Obviously you've got the blueberries making the bulk of the colour up there. And it's just a really good consistency. Not like water, and it's not like a thick yogurt. It's somewhere in between, and it's got kind of an ice cream taste to it. And it's perfect for post-workout, and it takes literally a couple of minutes. So definitely recommend trying that one. And shortly, I'll show you knocking this up and a few bits that I do. And some stuff that I've learned that doesn't go so well, which is why I do it in the way I do. Right, snack for later. Going to prepare it now while I've got the camera set up. Greek yogurt into a bowl, whey protein powder, banana that we had left on top. So, I'm going to open that, and we're going to remember that there's a little membrane on top, because the amount of times I've tried to put protein powder into this on top of that membrane is actually embarrassing. I used to put the protein powder into here and mix it in the pot. Says washing up, but it's really hard to get it all mixed together. So now I just simply dump this into a bowl. Also, never in a million years did I think I'd be sharing what I eat on YouTube. Like, if you could have seen what I ate when I was younger, no one would ever expect this. I just used to eat cake for dinner, and that was me. I've put my whey protein powder away already. So in with another scoop. I've just got it all over my vest. You know, these things never happen, you know, when I'm not filming. Anyway, little tiny splash of oat milk, because that'll help get all the powder off the bottom of the bowl. We end up with a consistency a bit like that. So it's all nicely mixed. Look, we've got no bits. Jobs are good in. And then all I do is we just get banana from earlier. And then we've got another high protein snack, and I just leave that out of the fridge for an hour. Right, the evening is slipping me by fast, but I've got a few bits I wanted to show you before I finish this video off. Creatine, take this every single day. So I have my 1 scoop of whey protein and my creatine. That's me as far as supplements go. So once I've drunk that, a bit later on, I'm going to watch some telly, and I'm going to get a decaf coffee, because I don't drink caffeine after midday. I just find it wrecks your sleep. I used to drink coffee 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night and wonder why my sleep was rubbish. It weren't that I couldn't get to sleep, it was the sleep quality, and that's a whole different topic. And I'm going to have a few squares of this chocolate, and that's going to wrap the day up. So I just want to finish by saying I don't eat the same things every day. Some days I might have more protein than others. Some days I might have more fats than others. Some days I'll eat some chocolate. some days I'll eat none. And I just like to call it balance. I do try and cook as many things as I can these days because processed food is getting terrible. They're creeping more and more random ingredients we just do not need in. And it's getting more difficult for whole foods because even what we call whole foods, they're creeping these things in. So I just encourage people, where you can, cook what you can so you know what you're eating. And don't be scared to have a few bits like chocolate and other stuff. You don't have to be crazy with it. Just get good balance. And I hope that's given you a bit of insight and you've enjoyed it. If you've liked the content, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.